What's up, guys? It's Meg, and it's that time of the week again where we get to talk about the latest Fear the Walking Dead episode. Today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 2, called We All Fall Down. What did you guys think of this episode? You guys, I keep holding out hope that it's just gonna keep getting better, and I'm definitely still interested in the show, but I was kind of bored tonight, to be quite honest with you. Basically, we do so much, so much of the episode. We watch the entire episode, 55 minutes, including commercials, and then the last 5 minutes are super interesting, exciting, and then that's it. And so it's so slow. And like that scene with Alicia walking up the beach and into the abandoned ranger area, and she sees the bulletin board and she draws the symbol of her dead boyfriend, the tattoo that she has on her arm, and then that's the end of that scene. And I'm just sitting here like, was that really necessary just to show us that she's missing her boyfriend? I mean, what does that really add to the story? Did we really need a full 2 minutes? I don't know if that's how long it was, but did we really need that much to that long of a scene just to show us that she misses her boyfriend? And this is what the entire episode is there's so much talking, and then at the very end they'll throw in like some action for us to make us happy, and it's really frustrating because I feel like the show could be so much more. And I can appreciate the character building that they're trying to do here. Obviously we're seeing different aspects of our characters, so Travis is changing here, and they're showing us how Nick is changing and how Chris is changing and evolving, and they're kind of showing us glimpses of each character here, and there is character building and there is story building very slowly here. But for a show like this, for a Walking Dead zombie genre television show, you cannot just have all of this character building and no action and no intensity at all. And you can't just give it to us in the last 5 minutes of the episode and expect us to be happy. Obviously, if we're watching a show like The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, it's a zombie show. So we want to see that, and we want to see action, and we want to be scared and nervous. And yes, we love the story that goes along with us. We love loving the characters, but quite frankly, I don't really love any of these characters right now except for Daniel and Strand. So obviously they're not doing that great of a job character building here. If I'm still 6, 7, 8, we're now 8 episodes into this series, and I'm still on the fence about these characters here. So it's just a frustrating episode, because even this story that they had here, this underlying story with George and his family and what they're going through, I feel like it could have been better. And I don't know, am I the only one who thinks this? Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, because I'm genuinely interested, because I've been very pro, like, just tough it out, you guys. This is gonna be a great show. We're gonna love Fear the Walking Dead. But we're 2 episodes into the 2nd season, and it's no different really than the 1st season. And I want to love it, and it's so frustrating that I can't just be all in for this show. So let's talk about the story here and what was added to it. Basically, we got a lot of information from the sunken ships, the sunken yachts logbook, as well as George's family. And Travis finds out, our group finds out, that pretty much this half of the United States is gone. Fires, bombing, napalm, dropping napalm, closing the borders. There's just, basically they've realized the hugeness of what has happened here, that it's not just a small contained epidemic here in LA or in San Diego, that it's not just up and down the coast, that it's literally all the way, at least half of the United States, and they don't even know what's on the other half. So our group has finally realized just how big this is, and that they're no safer on the water than they are on land. And it's kind of, what do you do now when the place that you thought you were going, San Diego, is no longer even an option? So we also find out in this episode that Strand is definitely up to something. I think I mentioned this before, but I thought from the very beginning when we heard him talking to himself and Madison was, you know, he commented to Madison that he was talking to himself. I thought for sure he was on the phone or something, that definitely he was talking to someone else. Well, that turns out to be true, that he is actually conversing with someone. We don't know who, and we don't know what his plan is. But basically, he says, what's the latest you can push it? And then the person says something and he says, I'll be there. And Daniel, as we know, has been snooping through the trunks and different drawers and everything, trying to figure out Strand. And he finds a weapon, and he finds, I think, like plans, like map for Mexico, to head to Mexico. So Strand definitely has a plan here that he has not told the rest of our group. And Daniel is very skeptical of Strand's motives here, and I love that scene with Daniel and Strand, where Strand is, you know, at the wheel and Daniel is just sitting there smirking at him like he knows. And I was reminded, you know, you guys may have forgotten this, maybe you haven't, but Daniel can read people very well. He was an interrogator. We saw that in season 1, that he knows how to get the information that he wants from people, and he's very observant, and he's always watching people, and he's very good at reading people and their body language. And he, as we see in this moment where they're talking in this episode, we know that Daniel knows something's up, and he has been able to read Strand. He doesn't trust him. He purposely stays behind on the boat to ensure that Madison and Travis and the kids don't get left behind, because he is worried about what Strand is up to. We also have this looming threat in the background of, what was the kid's name? Jack. Alicia was talking to him on the radio. We have this looming threat of this boat, and they've hidden in this cove at this wildlife refuge in order to hide from this threat of this huge boat that it was coming after them, and they were tracking them. And Strand says that the boat has passed by. They're gonna leave in the morning, they're gonna leave soon, whatever. And I can't help but wonder if Strand potentially knows more about that ship than he's letting on. I'm interested. I don't think that that is going to be the last that we see of that ship. If you guys watched the promo that aired after episode 1, it was a look ahead at the whole season, and I don't really think they showed us the entire season, obviously, but they showed us the next couple episodes, and we saw the airplane, you know, and everything. But we also saw some scenes where it looked like our group was attacked on the yacht. So I definitely think that that threat is going to come back, that boat is maybe hiding off somewhere, and as soon as our group gets back on the water, they're going to come after him again. I really think that we'll see that, if not in this next episode, you know, shortly thereafter. So that threat is not gone for sure. I really like these scenes with Nick and the children, especially Nick and Harry here. You really see Nick have this great interaction with this little boy, and it was very cool to see that side of Nick, almost like he was his big brother and he knew how to play with him, and it was just such a sweet moment. And we hear the kid mention, we take our pills and we get to stay together. And Nick kind of, you know, just was talking to him, didn't really talk more to the kid about it, but it definitely put a bug in his ear. Now, when I first saw Nick digging through the cupboards in the bathroom, I thought for sure that he was looking for pills to get high. You know, I mean, he's an addict, so I thought for sure that's what he was doing, and I was really disappointed. Come to find out, he sees these pills, or he finds these pills in this globe. They're hidden, you know, up above the fridge or something like that, and he sees them, he finds them right as Willa, the little girl, walks in. Now, you know, in that moment, we're not sure that she saw him find these at all. Later in the episode, we find out that she did see, and she ends up killing herself accidentally by taking this pill, and it was just the most heartbreaking thing. I felt so bad for Nick because, you know, essentially he did that. He didn't mean to, but he showed her where they were. She took it. Now she's dead. It was just this really sad moment. I feel really bad for Nick. And then she comes back as a Walker kid. That was so cool. I really love that part. You know, in The Walking Dead, we don't get to see a lot of children as walkers, and I really liked this moment, especially because the mom was so distraught over her child being a walker, and I don't know if she'd ever been that close to a walker, and she's staring at her baby, and as the girl opens her eyes, she still doesn't even like try to do anything. And then the girl eats her, and the dad won't leave. And earlier, you know, Nick had suggested to Madison and Travis that the dad was going to kill them all, poison them all, so they would all die together, and they're gonna save these kids. And you know, this whole time we're rooting for these children to survive, like, yes, take them with you, the dad's gonna kill them. And then the little girl dies, but there's still hope. We see our group run to the yacht with the little boy Harry, and I'm just like, yes, at least one of them survives. I completely forgot about the older brother, completely forgot about him. Where was he in the house when everyone was getting eaten? I don't even know. But all of a sudden he shows up on the yacht, and I thought for sure Daniel was going to, you know, take him out. They were going to keep Harry. At least Madison could have put up a little bit more of a fight to keep the kid. She just lets the kid walk off with the brother, who is slightly crazy, I think, in the head. And that's all we see of the kid. And I'm so disappointed. I actually really wanted that kid to survive. Did you see him on the yacht sitting with Nick? I just felt like they had a connection, and it was so cute seeing them together. And I don't know. I have a soft spot for kids in The Walking Dead, you know, like Judith and everyone. So I think it would have been nice to have a littler kid in the show just for some added like story here. Yeah. So like I said, just the last maybe 5 minutes was exciting, and the rest of the episode was like, you know, I like the scenes with Strand and Daniel. I liked the scenes with George and Travis, because Travis is still coming to terms, coming to grips on his new reality here. You know, he makes a comment where seeing Chris kill the walkers at the fence with a pickaxe really bothered him, because, you know, that's not a normal thing to see your child doing. And it really upset him, and he's still, you can tell he's still just coming to grips on this new reality, this new life that they're living, that this is the new world, this is what you do to survive. And I liked those little moments, but God, did we really need the entire episode? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it was all just, meh. Nothing was super exciting. And we had this big threat at the end of the last episode where it's like, they're coming. And then we don't even see these people in this episode. It was just lame. It was such a letdown. So that's it for my ranting. I still like this show, you guys. Don't worry. I've got hope. I'm holding out hope for it. I just want to stay positive about it. But I had to vent to you because I feel like you guys are probably thinking, you know, somewhat of the same thing here. So that's it for my review. I'm sure I've probably forgotten something. So if I have, make sure you leave it in the comments. We'll talk about it more in the Weekly Walker Talk this week. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.